What? And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. Literally, I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team.
Those things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. Oh my word, another great week of soccer. The USA is on a... Oh my God, they got demolished. Oh my word, did you watch that game yesterday? Colombia, powerhouse Colombia comes to the USA and kills them 5-1. Are you kidding me? Greg Berhalter has a lot of questions that need to be answered. We're going to talk about that. Brooks and I are going to dive into that. We're going to dive into the TST 7-on-7 tournament that's been going on for the last couple of days in Cary, North Carolina. Have you been following along with that? Incredible. Burnley have a team. Bayern Munich have a team. Everybody in the world seems to have a team. But right now, it's unknown teams that are making it through to the final. The winner of the TST 7v7 tournament wins $1 million. What is the Austin Powers? $1 million. It's a phenomenal tournament. 7v7. It is got some crazy rules. Brooks and I have been kind of nerding out in the last couple of days about this tournament. We're going to talk about that. Oh, and by the way, England tuning up for Euro 2024, which starts in a week in Germany, faced off at home against powerhouse Iceland. And Iceland come away with a 1-0 win. What? Yeah, no, you heard that correctly. Iceland didn't exactly dominate England, but they definitely went into Wembley and beat them 1-0. Oh, and by the way, Jack Grealish has been dropped from the Euro 2024 England squad. Along with Harry Maguire and a couple of others we'll talk about. We got a lot to get to today. Before we jump in, I want to say a big thank you to our partners and advertisers. A big thank you to Soccer World. Very much appreciate you. SoccerWorld.net for all your soccer gear needs. Big thank you to Next Level Training. Aaron, Dylan, Scotty, Bilal, and the boys. Hey, appreciate you. You are some of the best trainers around. If you haven't heard by now, check them out. Next Level Training. Big thank you to Michigan Jaguars. MichiganJaguarsFC.com for more information. Tryouts just happened. We're going to talk about youth tryouts because it's exhausting talking and even being a part of tryouts. So Michigan Jags, well done there. Big thank you to Thomas McGee's. Listen, Copa America is coming up. The Euros, as we talked about, are coming up. Get down to Thomas McGee's in downtown Detroit, across from Eastern Market, to watch all of those games. Big thank you to Dr. Zachary Atwood, the football doc. If you are in need of some physical therapy, if you are a soccer player looking to get back on track, check out the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. All right, listen, lots to get to. We're gonna run through a ton of stuff here today. It's Brooks and myself in the studio. Nate and Danny running tryouts for their respective clubs. They're exhausted. They're at home watching, chiming in, hopefully. But for now, Brooks, how are you, my friend? You all right?
I'm good. Been good. Relaxing weekend. Watched some documentaries on Amazon. Some lacrosse this weekend. Watched on Friday and Saturday.
No one wants to hear about lacrosse. We're a soccer show, my friend.
I know. And then, no, actually, honestly, Saturday night I watched some MLS Next Pro, some TST I watched to watch the Hoosiers Army for our buddy Kevin Robeson and all the Hoosiers from Big Ten countries supporting. So it's been good. And hold on here, I got something, Craig, for you. I got something.
Breaking news.
We have a breaking news.
What is it? What happened?
Nani has scored the winning goal to send.
Was
his
it actually
team.
Nani?
Yes, it was Nani.
Oh!
Yes.
All right, so everybody, just so you're aware, the other semifinal in the TST was happening. Nani FC was playing Newtown Pride United. They're the team that won the $1 million last year, Newtown Pride. Nani has a team called Nani FC, and Nani scored the winning goal, and now they are through to the finals, which is being played tomorrow against La Bombonera. I got to get that name right. Bombonera.
Yes.
They played, and they beat the Hoosier Army earlier today in a phenomenal game. I was enthralled by it. So tomorrow, $1 million. La Bombonera versus Nani FC.
Yes.
Nani actually comes through and scores. He's in his like early 30s.
He scored a lot of big goals for them in TST.
Yeah,
He came to play.
Yeah.
Like Aguero came to play and fight people in the beginning.
If you guys haven't seen it, some guy goes over top of the ball and tries to and does actually clip Aguero. Aguero played in it. Pat McAfee had a team in it. JJ Watt had Burnley in it. This tournament was packed with players, man.
It was till Pat McAfee pulled his hamstring. But what a cross on that Mike Grolla goal.
I was about to say that. So listen, we all know Pat McAfee as the YouTube show host, the Pat McAfee Show. He's a former punter in the NFL for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
The guy used to play high school soccer and was really good at it.
Yes.
He actually showed up and put a couple of crosses into the box, and one of them was connected for an unbelievable volley.
Yes.
Wow, the guy knows how to play soccer, so kudos to Pat McAfee. J.J. Watt ran over one poor guy, a goalie. Luckily, the guy was okay. J.J. Watt.
He was warming up the goalkeeper on his wife's team.
Yeah. Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was the Burnley women's team, and he was warming
Not
up.
a soccer player, but good for him. Good effort getting out there. There were a lot of celebrities out there watching and being part of teams. Breaking news. Well done. All right, Brooks, well, we'll get back, and then we're going to dive in because we're going to talk about that USA game in a minute here. We're going to dive in, USA getting demolished. But before that, it sounds like you had a good weekend.
I did.
You know, Brooks, you texted me. You texted our group text yesterday. I got to be honest. I'm a little disappointed in you. You got the other two in the group really excited because you said the Amazon documentary on the 99 Man United team was very interesting and very exciting.
Did you start watching it?
I haven't yet. I'm going
okay.
to. You know my feelings on Manchester United.
I know. I'm through 2 episodes. I think there's 3. Okay. So it breaks it down for each treble competition.
All right, give me.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on it. You enjoying it so far? You said yesterday in a text you finished the first episode and you enjoyed it and it was interesting. You're still enjoying it.
Obviously I was alive in 99. I was born in 91, but
God.
I just was.
Yes, thanks for making the rest of us feel old.
Well, you know. I guess I didn't really pick up Premier League soccer. I guess Man United kind of started me to get into it, as it did for every American, just because of the fans over here and everything. But just to learn about the class of '92 a little bit more, and just what Alex Ferguson was expecting, and what happened before that season in '98 and '97, '98 season, and leading into it, and it was. I did not know that Sir Alex Ferguson wanted to resign. He asked to resign, and then they were like, "Nope, you can't."
Yeah, there have been a couple instances he wanted to retire, wanted to resign. They thought about firing him after the first year. It's a good thing for them. They hung on.
Yeah.
You do learn a lot. I haven't watched it. I'm going to watch it. I'm interested to know, anybody out there, have you watched it? Have you gotten through it? What are your thoughts? I'm sure Man United fans are going to tell me it's the best thing in the world, even if it's crap, because that's the way Man United fans are. Sorry, Man United fans, but you've got red-tinted glasses on, as we know. But let us know in the comments what your thoughts are. Also, today, during the show, ladies and gentlemen, please comment along, play along. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts specifically on the topic we're talking about. And Brooks is going to read out the good ones, the best ones, the funny ones, the ones that catch our attention. All right.
And Danny Garrett says, "What's up?"
Danny Garrett, what's up, buddy? How are you? All right, let's jump in. We're going to talk about it. It's this weekend. Listen, Colombia come to Maryland. And the stadium was mostly filled with Colombian fans.
That's the worst part of it.
I mean,
and did they not learn anything from when they back in like 18 when they didn't qualify for Russia?
I know.
They played Costa Rica in New York, and it was pretty much all Costa Rican fans,
But
and it was like an away game.
It's to be expected, right? It's to be expected. But I would say to Greg Berhalter's credit, he put out a pretty strong lineup. That could quite possibly be -1 or 2, the strongest lineup he could possibly put out there. Yeah. And wow, did they the bed. Yeah. They asked the bed big time. That was a lackluster, very poor performance from the USA. 5-1 losers to Colombia. Yeah. Just pathetic. Greg Berhalter after the game putting out a couple of comments saying this is a wake-up call for us. And a very poor performance against a top team. I wouldn't call Colombia a top team, a good team nonetheless. USA should not be losing 5-1.
Correct.
Should absolutely not. Brooks, that performance was disgusting. Yeah. Now, are we, before we dive in and go critical, are we getting too critical about a game that's a friendly before Copa America? No. Or should we be concerned?
I think we should be concerned.
We should be concerned. All right, why should we be concerned? Tell me. I know you've watched this game probably 3 times. I know you've got a notebook of notes.
I do.
Why should we be concerned?
I mean, from a side, you want to talk about guys that I think are there and like are legit. I mean, Tim Ream, who's been there for a while. He's done it in the Premier League. He shows up. He shows up for the club and the national team. Mm-hmm. We can say Matt Turner because even though he's been he's been the second goalkeeper for Nottingham Forest, he shows up and he's probably one of the better players on the field. Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Anthony Robinson, and I'd say Yunus Musa. Mm-hmm. And probably Tim Weah. Outside of those 7 players, I don't really know if like they're all there and bought in, or maybe bought in is not necessarily the word, but they're of the level and quality to beat top caliber teams.
Yeah, and maybe not even beat, but compete.
Yes.
And the statistics say that we competed, but the score does not.
Correct.
The American players seem to put their heads down towards the end of that game. And Colombia was on fire. They were rocking and rolling. I want to read off to you, and Brooks, I'll love your reaction to this. I'm going to read off to you some of the scores that were given to the American players. Mm-hmm. This is from ESPN. Matt Turner. I'm sorry. You know what? We're going to start with Greg Berhalter, the coach. ESPN gave him a 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. Yeah. Matt Turner, a 3. I thought Matt Turner was very poor. Joseph Scally, a 3. Chris Richards, a 4. Tim Ream, a 3. Anthony Robinson, a 5. Apparently, he played well. Johnny Cardoso, a 6. Weston McKennie, 4. Gio Reyna, 7. One of the few bright spots, they said. I don't know if I agree. Yeah. A 7 is a bit high, right? Tim Weah, 6. Balogun, 4. Christian Pulisic, 7.
Sure, I can agree with that.
Okay, so because you got 2 7s. That's the highest, and I think even those are too high for this.
For the performance, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, listen, like some of the notes I had. I mean, it was piss poor defending, in my opinion. I mean, we were lunging for balls. They were not being cleared properly. I mean, it was almost it wasn't quite as bad as that one Chicago Fire goal we joked about a couple weeks ago, but it was bad. I mean, the first goal, Anthony Robinson could have let that ball just run out of bounds. He didn't know where he was on the field. If he let that ball run out of bounds, there's no goal there. He doesn't try to deflect it back into the middle, and the Colombian player doesn't pick it up and then score near post, which Matt Turner and being a former goalkeeper, you should never get beat near post.
Absolutely.
You should
Correct.
never.
Correct.
I mean, unless it's a ridiculous, just it was placed in the corner where it was just crazy and it was just smacked as hard as it could, but he could have saved that. And also lazy tracking from Gio on that first one as well. So, for me, Gio's too scared of a player to play in the midfield. He won't turn and play sometimes. He just plays to keep the ball. I don't like that. I think the era he grew up in the U.S. Academy with NYCFC, it was very much the representation of how you played. It wasn't physical. People weren't on your back. You had time to turn and just bump the ball and play.
Yeah.
So, and listen, he has done nothing at the club level.
Oh,
He's had a few decent runs with Dortmund, but anything else, he's not proven
He
himself.
went to Forest and sat the bench most of the time. He got, I think he had his 2 starts towards the end of the season, but at that point it was done.
Correct.
Like, he literally has had no playing time in the last 6 to 12 months.
Correct.
In the last 12 months, the most he's played is when he's been called up to U.S. men's national team games.
Yeah.
We have to rethink how we use that kid on the field, for sure.
Yeah. So I'll quickly go through my notes
Go
here.
for it.
So listen, like you can tell Turner's a bit rusty. He didn't look super confident on the ball. He looked like he had not played in a while. He was trying to get back into things. That was tough. There's a bit of rust on Tim Ream. I think if Tim Ream had finished out the season with Fulham, you would have saw a better performance from him. But he was injured. He had to sit the bench. He didn't play a whole lot for Fulham. And now he's going to come back to MLS.
I was about to say, the rumors are now he's coming to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Why is he not being offered another contract at Fulham?
Yes.
It looks like they are pretty much done with him. I don't think any other clubs are buying into someone his age. So back to the MLS he comes. Looks like Charlotte is going to be that landing place. You are correct.
Yeah. So like I said, clearing balls off the back line was piss poor from them. It led to the first 2 goals. I don't think Joe Scally is a men's national team player. Nate likes him at Borussia Dortmund. I don't think he's good enough as a right back. He doesn't read the game well. He doesn't anticipate well. I don't think he's as athletic as people say he is. He's just not the caliber of player. So he is not one that has proven to me that he should be with the national team in big competitions.
Yep. Yeah. No, he is definitely a player that is when he's coming to games, he's struggled.
Colombia saw that. They tacked the left side a lot.
I say they were going down the left side.
Yes.
And Diaz was having some runs at that.
Yes.
Trust me. That is an eye-opening game for the rest of the world to see and see. Maybe it's not a good spot for Scally to be. We'll see.
Exactly. Agreed. Chris Richards. I think the score that they gave him on ESPN was a little low. I mean, I would put like 5 or 6. I don't think he was horrendous.
Okay.
His passing out of the back isn't bad, but he still lacks being comfortable on the ball.
Yep.
So he needs to improve
You would
on
think
that.
though, a Premiership player would be comfortable in the ball, right?
Correct.
But I think that literally has been the knock on him for a couple of years now. Comfortability on the ball. An athlete, a super good athlete, has good awareness of the game, can find his way into good positions, but comfortability on the ball, it just seems to be, you nailed it. That's his weak spot. It's got to get better. It has to get better. If you're going to be the center back or a midfielder in a defensive center midfielder for a Premiership team, it has to get better, or you're going to find yourself on a bench and out of the Premiership pretty quickly and not playing for the U.S. men's national team.
Correct, yes. A few more notes here. So this is more of the formational type. When we play top teams, we have to play with 2 defensive mids. We have to play double pivot. We're not good enough to play in a single pivot.
I want to say yes. I think you're right, because the amount of balls that came out of the back that were given away because they had to slip it into a small space. There wasn't another option. It was either hoof it long or force it into the middle because there wasn't another option or someone to create space for it. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that does Greg. I can't even recall. I'm blanking at the moment. Has Greg done the double pivot before? Because I don't remember.
I think we have before.
I don't know if we've done it successfully.
But he needs more defensive midfielders and one that's more technical than the other. So I would honestly stick Yunus Musa and McKennie there.
Yeah, well,
because they both cover ground. They're both physical.
When Tyler Adams is healthy, properly healthy.
Correct. He is in there.
That's his spot, and that could really help. I don't know if he's preventing 5-1 from happening with the poor performances all over the field there, but could definitely have helped.
Correct. Giorena is not a midfielder. He's a better 10 to let him just roam free, or he's a tucked-in winger. That's just what he is. He's not. He doesn't have the balls to turn and drive forward, and you need that at the national team level. You need to be able to beat a player off the dribble, or you need to turn and play and break lines, which he's not great at, especially in his own final third. He's too hesitant. You have to take risks. As you know, Craig, with your English national team, you need good midfielders who are going to take risks, and your guys do that. That's what Jude Bellingham does.
And we're going to get into that in a couple of minutes against the game they played against Iceland coming up in the Euros here, but we'll get into that for sure. Yeah.
My big knock against McKennie is he's a mediocre midfielder because he never finds the game, but when he does, he can do some magical things. So that's why I haven't given up on him as being a midfielder. I think at times he's shown interesting as a right back when he needs to play there for emergency cases, but I don't think he's done much. A lot of the players that receive the ball, especially Gio Reyna, he kills the game. He kills the ball every time he receives it. He doesn't take it on the move very well. So when people jump on, as you know, the game is super quick. So people jump on your back very quickly when you kill the ball. And then you have to play backwards or sideways. So that's what he needs to do. And honestly, for me, this is my one Berhalter thing. You can agree with me, you cannot, but this is my synopsis. And this is me comparing to, like, I work in the financial industry, this is comparing like how Greg Berhalter coaches, where you may meet a financial advisor and they may lead you on to things. My synopsis: players are fooled by the information overload Berhalter spits out. It's like when the average human is looking for a financial advisor, can be great at talking jargon, but at the end of the day, are you going to make me wealthier, or are you to just show off your knowledge? And that's what Greg Berhalter is. He's a financial advisor that just shows off his knowledge. That doesn't make anyone better.
That is quite the comparison, Brooks. I did not see that coming.
Yes.
That is a great comparison.
Yes.
All right, so we've seen it online. There's the overreaction, right? There's the Berhalter out, get rid of him. He doesn't know what he's doing. Get anybody else out in here. Are those people overreacting, or should U.S. soccer actually consider getting rid of Greg Berhalter before we start Copa America and 2 years away from the World Cup being here in the USA? What are we thinking, Brooks? Are we getting rid? Should U.S. soccer consider getting rid of Greg Berhalter right now?
Yes.
Really?
Didn't I send you that graphic? Remember the graphic I sent you that said what's his win percentage against top 20 teams outside of Mexico?
7.1%.
That's horrible.
If you take away the 4 games, so he's played, I believe it's, I think it's 18. He's played 18 games against top 20 ranked national teams. 5 of those have been against Mexico. 4 of them are wins. He has 5 wins in total in those 18 games. If you take those 4 out, now he is
the only team he's beaten is Iran outside of Mexico.
1-14,
Yes.
1-14, whatever. 1 win out of the 14. So it's a 7.1% win percentage against top ranked teams without Mexico in there. I mean, listen, Copa America is coming up. Yeah. It's starting in a week. We cannot just get rid of someone who has been with us for the last couple of years and we have been preparing for and has picked the roster and has put the game plan. You just can't do that, right? So listen, you Berhalter, Brooks, this is to you. This is the Berhalter out crew and groups. It cannot happen. Wait till after Copa America, because if he flunks out of Copa America, then we may have a leg to stand on.
Well, yes.
Again,
it's after Copa America. You have to
We're
wait.
2 years away from the World Cup in our country here, 2026, in the USA. Remember, his contract was not extended. So it wasn't extended in December. And they went through the whole coaching search. They interviewed a bunch of coaches, and inevitably they brought him back. And everybody went, "What the heck?" Now, it wasn't the same old group of people who were hiring from years of past. This was a new group. We brought in a new person, Matt. Forget
Crocker.
his name. What was it?
Crocker from Southampton.
Yep. He interviewed all the candidates. He was the one. It's his job on the line. He picked Greg Berhalter. So it's where we are. I don't think he wants to fire Greg Berhalter, even if a disastrous Copa America happens. I don't think he wants to fire him so quickly because it looks bad on him, doesn't it?
Yeah. So one thing actually I did watch on this weekend too is I watched the I like Kicking It with Kate Abdo and Dempsey and
Yeah.
they have Bruce Arena on.
Oh yes, I did. I did see that. Yes, I didn't watch the. I watched.
You need
I
to
watched
watch
a couple
the
of highlights of
You
it.
need
yeah.
to watch the full one. It's really good. It's 52 minutes. It's superb.
Brooks, I was at youth tryouts this weekend.
I know. When
I
do you have time?
I didn't make a single team. They all cut me. They took my kids though, and it's stressful. But
I'll tell you about the one important thing, in my opinion, the difference between when Clint Dempsey and Bruce Arena were talking about when he played and he coached Clint. Clint was a freaking a-hole. And it was to his opponents.
Gee, I couldn't tell.
I know, right? It was to his opponents. It was just in training. He always went out and got it. And when he wasn't picked in that 2002 squad, by Bruce Arena, he had something to go prove to be on the 2006 team. And he went out and proved that. I cannot say the same thing for this group in this U.S. men's national team pool we have right now. We have players that are superiorly more technical and with an IQ than from years past.
Mm-hmm.
But what I don't believe, which Greg Berhalter keeps preaching, is they want the old national team, oomph and back in there.
Yep.
The only one to me that has that, who's embraced it, is Pulisic.
Yes.
Everyone else for me has not bought into that or does not believe that or want to change like that. And you need that to beat top 20 international teams.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Some of the comments coming in, Kirk Johnson, good to see you, my friend. He's saying $1.25 million for an effing coach like Greg Berhalter.
Yes.
That's how much we're paying him to coach at the moment. Yeah. And you saw the team that showed up. There was a comment, I can't see who said it. You guys can have Gareth Southgate. Yeah, I don't even know if the U.S. Soccer Federation would take Gareth Southgate, to be honest.
Mike B, 44% win percentage in his career.
Yeah, it might be 44% win percentage in Greg Berhalter's career. That is not good.
Yeah. Josh Pazuniak.
Yep.
We call him JP. Game looked like 11 friends got together and played a team that was on a 22-game unbeaten streak.
and that is something, right? Listen, Colombia are and have been now a 23-game unbeaten streak. They are a good team. They do have great players.
They did, right? James Rodriguez was good.
James Rodriguez was good several years ago. James Rodriguez now.
He actually wasn't bad in this game.
Not quite what he used to be.
But Luis Diaz is
Luis
really good.
Diaz, that guy's a beast, right?
Yes.
They do have great players. Does the U.S. men's national team, did we expect a 5-1 drubbing, though? Absolutely not. No. This team better turn it around because guess who comes knocking Wednesday, Brooks?
Brazil.
Yes. Brazil are coming knocking on Wednesday. I believe it's Dallas. I think we're going to check that 6:30. They could be on the hands of a 5-0 drubbing if they're not careful, and Brazil will put out their B team. But listen, so I'll give you an example. We're going to get to the England-Iceland game. I watched that. And some of the players in the England game, you saw them pull out of tackles. They didn't go in hard.
It's Brazil and Orlando, which is even better because it's another home game for them.
But in the England-Iceland game, the English players are pulling out of tackles because they're going to start the Euros next week. They don't want to get injured. The Iceland players literally have nothing to play for. If they win, it's the best win in the world. If they lose, they're expected to lose. The English players just didn't want to get hurt. They got some runs in. They were probably told, let's win this game, but stay healthy. Maybe Berhalter kind of put a lot of that out there with the U.S. team as well, right? Hey, don't get injured. We have Copa America starting in a week. Don't get injured. This is what I want to see.
Did.
Right.
Training.
Right. But you think, listen, I've been in that situation. I've done that where you go through a preseason and you're like, this is the last preseason game. We are 4, 5, 6 days away from our first game of the year, the one that actually counts. You want to show off. You want to do good. You want to win the game. You don't want to get injured. So you're very aware of tackles. You're very aware of what's going on around you. And you understand that the result doesn't matter because it's preseason. It's a friendly. I've been there. Trust me. The 5-1, though, that's embarrassing. Yeah. That's absolutely embarrassing. That can't happen I do put that down to Berhalter.
Mm-hmm.
I put that on Berhalter because you either didn't set your team up correctly or you didn't motivate them enough to at least keep it close. If we lose 2-1 in that game,
I'm fine with that. I can live with that.
I'm good with that. That's okay.
We haven't lost by 5 goals, I think, since Mexico beat us
Correct.
in a Gold Cup back before.
2009 or
2009 or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
2009 or 8, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I agree. So, listen, are we overreacting? Maybe. It doesn't matter, but the game doesn't matter. But a 5-1 drubbing just cannot effing happen, man.
No.
That is not good. That is absolutely terrible. Some of those players need to hang their heads in shame. And I tell you what, if they don't show up on Wednesday against Brazil, it'll be another drubbing, and then the confidence is low. Then everybody starts to not only
Then you go into the competition with all that.
the confidence is low for the competition, but now the players are starting to question whether the coach knows what he's doing and setting them up correctly.
Correct.
Right? You just set us up to get beat 5-1 and 5-0, whatever it may be, the next one if they come out again like that. And now going into the competition, they're questioning the coach along with the rest of the world, right?
And by the way, we're in Group C.
Yep.
These 2 teams we're playing are in Group D.
Which means
Which means if we come out of the group either in first or second in Colombia and Brazil, which it looks like they will, because I think they're with Paraguay and Costa Rica.
so we could play them in the knockout rounds.
Yes.
Why would we set up friendlies against these 2 teams where we could play them
Yes.
in the first round of the knockout round?
Correct.
Right? Like that doesn't make any sense to me at all. You should play teams that are similar to them,
Yeah.
but not them.
Correct.
Um,
Maybe like another Copa, maybe another like South American team like Chile or
anybody-
Venezuela
someone
or
who hasn't-
someone.
someone who's not in, the Copa
Correct.
America, right?
Yes.
Another South American team. Very
Maybe African team like Nigeria or something. I don't know,
yeah, seriously.
because I don't think they're doing the African Cup of Nations is over.
Oh no, that finished in
That's
January.
finished
Yeah,
a long time
gone,
ago,
yeah.
and club season's done.
Right. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of nations out there would probably love to come to America and played. All right, let's jump in. Let's actually talk about that England-Iceland game. It was at Wembley. It was the other day, Friday, I believe. England, oh my, 3rd ranked in the world. England lose 1-0 to Iceland. And if you are thinking maybe England didn't put out their strongest team, you'd be wrong. There was a couple of players, don't get me wrong. Aaron Ramsdale was the goalie. That is not England's number 1 goalie. I actually think he's England's number 3 goalie, especially after that game, letting in a near post goal. They had Mainu playing and played for most of the game. Played not good. We'll put that. He's not a starter. That's Jude Bellingham's spot.
Yes.
One of the best players in the world at the moment is going to step in there.
Well, he needs a break after
Champions League
right?
and all the run through the Bundesliga, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, yes, England lost. They nicked the post a couple of times. They buzzed several over the bar. They buzzed several wide of the post. This easily could have been 3-1 England. Harry Kane misses one on the 6-yard line that you'd put your mortgage on him to make.
Yep.
He should have scored that. Again, other things come into mind of where's the goalie, where's the defender, what's going on. I don't want to get injured. Let's just get a boot on it here. But yes, England thoroughly embarrassed. Is it coming home though? Is it? It is. It's still coming home, Brooks. Yes. Even though we lost to Iceland a week before Germany, Euro 2024, my friend, it is still coming home. It's coming. We're going to win. We're going to do it. We're England. I know we've never won before, but it's going to happen. The big news this week from the England, besides the 1-0 loss to Iceland, is Harry Maguire out. Harry Maguire saying injury, calf injury.
Good or bad for your squad?
I think that's bad. I would have liked Harry Maguire in the English squad because when he plays for the England national team, he's actually a good player.
Okay.
The national team game, especially the one the England play, compared to the club game and the one the Man United play, is very, very different. Harry Maguire will win everything in the air. I think he is a good player. Not a great player. Don't get me wrong. I think the $75 million they paid for him several years ago was way above what they should have. He's due for a mistake every game when he plays for Manchester United, but when he plays and leads England, he usually steps up and plays very well. He's out.
So who replaces him?
So he was left off of the squad. They brought in 32, and they cut several, and now they're down to a 23-man squad.
Yes.
So
Stones, and then
Stones has stepped in, yes.
Yes.
With Gray, and I want to see Ezri Konsa. So they took Ezri Konsa. He's had 3 caps prior for England. He's an Aston Villa player. He can play left back, right back, center back. He can play it all. He is an athlete, and what we like to call him at Aston Villa is he's a Rolls Royce. The man is a luxury to have at a center back position. I think he could very well start for England in Euro 2024. Okay. I think him and Stones in the back would be phenomenal to see. The other player that was cut that a lot of people are questioning, myself included, Jack Grealish. Grealish.
Cut. Weird.
Yeah, very weird. Very weird.
What? So, who shouldn't be there where Grealish should be there for?
That's a great question.
Because they're deep. England's deep at every position.
England's very deep. I don't like the fact that Ivan Toney made it. I don't think he should be there. I don't like that. Again, I've said it before. I'm not a huge fan of a youngster like Mainu at the moment. I think we're already deep enough in that spot. We are very deep where Grealish plays, but here's what I'm saying of why he was dropped. Because when he was at Aston Villa, his job was to get the ball, be creative, make runs, go have fun, see if you can create goal-scoring opportunities. Sold for £100 million, the most expensive Englishman at the time, to Manchester City. And what did Pep do to him? Put the shackles on him. Said, no, you're not doing that anymore. We're going to need you to pick up the ball around midfield, make a 25-yard run, take a defender with you, turn around, pass the ball back to the midfield. You're just advancing the group forward. That's all you're doing. And when we really, really need you to create something, I want you to go into the middle and get fouled for a free kick opportunity. That seems to be what Manchester
System
City,
soccer right there.
That's what Manchester City seems to do with Jack Grealish.
Yep.
And he's become a little bit of a luxury player of, we are up 1-0. We need to waste time, get Jack on the ball. He can run and get fouled. We can stop the clock. We can slow everything down. He can control the ball. He seems to have gone away from the old ragtag of let's have fun, let's dice people, go at the game, score left foot, score right foot, set someone up. So, but the rumor is coming out of the England squad that the England players are not happy that Jack Grealish was dropped. He was a big part of that group, so they're not happy. But like you said, Brooks, look, England is deep. You've got Phil Foden. You've got Harry Kane, obviously. Jude Bellingham. Cole Palmer. Anthony Gordon. Coming off the bench, Ollie Watkins can score a lot of goals. He had 20 goals this year in the Premiership. 31 goal creations, either goals and assists. So, listen, England's deep in those positions, and there you go. That's what happens, my friend.
Yeah.
He's not happy. The England squad's not happy. We'll see if they can turn it around. They've got a week, less than a week now before they kick off. I believe it's they kick off on Saturday. I do want to go back real quick, Brooks. I had a little note here.
Okay.
I wanted to say Copa America. Here's the games that they have. You ready for this?
There we go. Yeah.
All right, June 23rd, 6 p.m. against Bolivia. 4 days later, June 27th against Panama, 6 p.m. And then July 1st against Uruguay at 9 p.m. Again, if you are in the Metro Detroit area, hit up Thomas McGee's. We'll be down there for a couple of those games. USA, we'll see how they do against Bolivia, Panama, and Uruguay. Can they get out of the group stage to face those two teams they pretty much are playing now this week? Interesting.
Yeah. I get obliterated on Wednesday.
Yeah. All right, Brooks. Well, let's put in. What do you think? Give me a prediction.
Wednesday score?
Yeah, give me one. Okay, two things real quick. Do you think he goes with his strong lineup or some of his backup players to see how they fit in? And then give me a score.
You have to mix up the lineup at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
I mean, obviously, I don't think Tim Ream starts, to be honest with you. And
Or should he?
No. And I think Joe Scally doesn't start either. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't think I would, I don't think Gio Reyna should start either.
You don't think so?
So I think that, and Cardoso. I don't like Johnny Cardoso anyways. I think he's a pretty average midfielder.
I was about to say, you're not a Cardoso fan.
All he does is, he moves the ball more than Reyna does forward at times, to be honest with you, but Reyna likes to dribble more. But I mean, again, he plays too slow for my opinion. He's used to space in La Liga, and you don't get space in international play.
All right, give me a score though. What do we think the score is going to be? Brazil versus USA in Orlando is going to be.
So that's a home game for Brazil, essentially, because there's the South American population down there.
Yep.
I don't think they score a goal. I think it's 3-0.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think it's going to be 3-0 Brazil, and the last 20 minutes they'll just walk around.
And the best thing you can do is to keep the ball mostly to advance and create chances. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
If you can notch one against Brazil, that'd be great. If you can keep it within a goal or two, that'd be even better. But just you can't give the ball away cheaply against Brazil because the speed and the way they play on. I mean, they are a counterattacking nightmare. Brazil.
That's because they're so fast.
Because they are and technical and smart.
Yep. All right. So look forward to that game on Wednesday, and Copa America starts next week. All right. One of the other pieces we were talking about is the TST, otherwise known as the Soccer Tournament. TST 7v7 is being played in Cary, North Carolina. It's a company that set up the basketball tournament, TBT, and they've done that for several years, and this is the second year they've done a soccer tournament. The winning team gets $1 million. $1 million. Last year, Newtown Pride United won it. Mostly indoor players, which is surprising. This year, oh my, a lot of big teams, a lot of big names into it. We're going to talk about that coming back in 1 minute. We're going to tell you who's in the final. We're going to tell you what's going on there. We'll be right back.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just going to do some light shopping. Okay. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
Copa America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Ugh.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump. Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin, you know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
All right. We had a couple of funny comments we'd like to read out. You guys are killing it today. Brooks, what we got?
Let's see. Here we go. Luke Zagorski. Imagine having Saka and Foden either side of Bellingham and alongside Harry Kane and winning nothing. Laughing.
Thank you. Yep.
Victor, 3-1 Brazil is his prediction. Kirk Johnson, U.S. men's national team fire Greg Berhalter on Tuesday. They win 2-1 on Wednesday against Brazil. What a prediction. And then Lucas Gorski, I don't care who wins this 7v7 thing, as long as it isn't Pat McAfee's team.
You didn't want Pat McAfee's team to win? I'm a huge McAfee fan, so I didn't mind it. But
well, Mr. Zagorski, the Hoosier Army eliminated Concaffa.
Concava FC.
Concava, yes, FC.
SC?
FC.
SC or FC? I don't know.
I think.
Anyway, he was eliminated. He played in a couple of games. He played very well. Pat McAfee surprised all of us. So in the final for the TST is on the women's side. There were 8 teams. So let's start there. 8 teams to win $1 million. Final is tomorrow. It's the U.S. women's national team. They're filled with women who've played prior on the national team against the North Carolina Courage. That is going to be a great game, by the way. So the winner of that game, $1 million richer. Good for them. On the men, confirmed today, the 2 semifinals happening. Tomorrow, the final happens. La Bombonera versus
Nani FC.
Nani FC.
Mm-hmm.
Nani, yep, scored the winning goal. Very nice. Though both those games are on ESPN+. If you haven't seen this, guys, if you haven't seen the TST 7v7, the rules are a little different, right? So there's no throw-ins. The ball goes out of bounds, put it down, kick it in. There's only one there's 2 referees. One in the middle, one on the inbounds for the subs. Substitutions are on the fly. It's phenomenal.
Hockey
style. It's great.
But they've been not as strict about like everyone crossed the line. They've kind of eased off a little bit. Last year they were super strict and gave a lot of cards. This year they've loosened
eased off. I think if it affects the play, obviously we'll stop the game, give a card, and give a free kick. But if it doesn't, let the play go on. This is one I really like. This is where it comes into the indoor 6v6 type thing. No offsides. So there's absolutely no offsides. You can stand, except I did learn today. There's a little offsides. If your goalie has the ball on his own side of the field and he's outside of his own box, you can't have someone in the opposing team's box. They prevent cherry picking, but he can stand on top of the box. He just can't be in the box when the goalie has the ball outside of his own box. So anyway, other little nuances. The game, when the final whistle blows, the final the 220 regulation ends, 2 20-minute halves are over. The game is not actually over. So Brooks, if Team Craig is winning 2-1 over Team Brooks and the regulation, the 40 minutes is over, that doesn't mean the game's over. It's now into what they call target time.
Target score time.
And the target score becomes 3. Yes. Why? Because Team Craig, who's winning 2-1, needs to score 1 goal to win. Team Brooks needs to score 2 goals to win. So the game must end on a winning goal, if that makes sense. Last year, I was like, this is dumb. But then you watch and you're like,
well, the best part is last year was every 5 minutes you pulled the player off in target score time. This year they reduced it to every 3 minutes.
Right. So you got 6 and a goalie on the field. After 3 minutes, you got to pull a player off. So now you go down to 5 and a goalie. And another 3 minutes if the game keeps going. Now you go down to 4 and a goalie. We've seen a couple of games go down to 2 players on the field with a goalie. So essentially it's 3-on-3 on a pretty big field. It's awesome.
We got a comment from Victor.
Oh Lord, here we go.
He said, laugh my F and A off. Craig loves it because the SOB can never stay on sides.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. You're not wrong, Victor.
Yeah.
That's why I love indoor soccer.
And then Mr. Zagorski said, came here to say this, Victor. Perfect format for Craig.
Yeah, it is. We are going to look into putting a team in for next year. Yeah. Just so everybody's aware, we're going to ask for some donations because it's a $40,000 entry fee. $40,000, but a chance at winning $1 million. So we are actually going to look to put in a We Are Soccer team.
What team have you enjoyed watching?
What team have I enjoyed
watching? All the. I mean, I know you caught bits and pieces. I followed the ones we've interviewed. So Freedom SC United, our Freedom United SC, which Craig interviewed, the head coaches, Larry Friend and Matt Anderson. Soccer Roof.
Yep, John Lupinelli, we interviewed him, the owner of Soccer Roof. Mm-hmm. He took a team down there. They did pretty well.
Yep. They made it to the round of 32.
We interviewed the Georgetown head coach or
Connor
assistant coach, Connor Klokota. Mm-hmm. They did pretty well. I really did like the Georgetown Hoosier Army matchup. I thought that game was a lot of young kids going at it. I thought that was a great game. I'll be really honest. I got into the Concafa versus Burnley game, which was J.J. Watt versus Pat McAfee. It's like a side spectacle. I loved it. I loved it. I don't know, man.
And the only team for us that we interviewed that didn't advance was Soccerhead FC on the women's side.
That's right. Yeah.
There were a lot of Duke graduates, but there were other. So I didn't know this. Actually, Ian Harks, who's the son of John Harks, his wife played on the team.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of his sisters for Ian or John's daughters, but that was his wife.
Yeah, nutty. I mean, so if you guys aren't aware, it's there's a men's and a women's, and literally there are players in the 30s and 40s that are kicking butt in this, and substitutions on the fly, like every minute and a half. So it's pretty nutty to watch. I have been loving it. Again, We Are Soccer may have a team to put in for next year.
I think for me it was Hoosiers Army. That was the one I enjoyed watching.
I think you like that team specifically because
I know everyone
and you knew most of the players, or their history, their background, and where they came from, and all that.
Yeah, kind of stuff, right? I mean, listen, it's nice to see. I mean, we're from Big Ten country. You know, the Midwest gets missed out a lot, honestly.
It does.
And honestly, of all the teams, to be fair, that put in alumni, the majority of the IU team, besides one player.
Yeah.
Mike Catalano, who played at Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a Chicago boy, though. It was pretty much all Hoosiers. Georgetown had a few Notre Dame grads because Klakota's a Notre Dame grad along with Nick Beasler. And then Freedom United SC had a lot of Air Force grads, but they had Hilliard Arce, who came from Stanford.
Yes.
Austin Naviza, who's a Providence College graduate, and then a few other ones. So they weren't technically Stanley Alves was from UMass. That was another one. So that's what I do really enjoy is that Hoosier Army, its majority, like 99.9% are from IU, and you just see the intensity. Like they had Kevin Robeson mic'd up against the Concaffa, and my Lord, like everyone takes it seriously. They started training, they started working out, like they wanted this $1 million. And what I love about it too, that all these college programs, it is great spectacle for your college program. And a reason I think, in my opinion, people don't go watch college soccer. Should go watch college soccer.
Oh, we've been saying that for a while now. Absolutely, they should. I think it's great. I'm a huge fan. I want to know, has anybody else been watching it? It's 4 or 5 days long, and then it's over. It's 48 men's teams that have been in it, 8 women's teams, $1 million. Again, I watched it last year and I enjoyed it. This year, I've gotten way more into it and thoroughly enjoyed it. Nani FC against La Bombonera tomorrow. In their flag, in their badge for La Bombonera, it says an indoor soccer team. So Newtown Pride United, who won it last year, were mostly filled with indoor players.
Some of their guys, which is interesting, actually left for other teams this year. Like Tony Walls played on another team, and so did Drew Ruggles. Drew Ruggles had like the long dreads from the team last year. He was actually a Bucks kid.
I'm surprised. Was he really?
He played for the Bucks for a little bit. Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't keep their team together. I mean, you got a good chance of repeating, right?
Yep.
But anyway, I would love to know if people have been watching it, or if you're not as crazy as us and watch soccer 24/7.
It's different. That's why I like it. It breaks up the 11v11 stuff we always watch.
It's a lot like the Kings League that Gerard Piqué has in Spain, which is growing. If you haven't watched that, the Kings League is phenomenal. It's entertainment. That's my type. That's really what I'm getting into these days. I love the old traditional 11v11. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of 6v6 as well, the indoor game. But when people come up with 7v7 and the nuances and the little changes to the rules, like substitutions on the fly and target time goal and no offsides, I'm in, man. I am absolutely in. So keep your eyes open and peeled for donations for the We Are Soccer 7v7 TST team.
Yes.
This time next year. Brooks, I'm sorry you are cut already, but
that's okay. Can Victor come along and we can do social media?
Yeah, you and Victor can write the funny quips. You can type them in and respond.
Yeah, and I want Luke Zagorski on our team as well.
Is Luke playing? Or
No. He's
on the media team.
He's on the media
team.
He'll be a coach too. I think he'll be very good at that too. Yeah.
We may have to find like an actual head coach.
Yes.
Someone who knows what they're doing.
There's a local college coach that's going to
maybe,
coach us.
But he must have to know like the indoor and the 7v7 stuff. So Tony Miola was the coach of Concaifa FC. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
We should put out a poll on the Facebook group, by the way, pretty soon.
Victor goes, "Are you kidding? I'd have a blast laughing."
No, I'm sure you would.
Yes, you would.
Victor, it's only going to cost you a couple of grand donation to make the media team and come down.
Yes.
I look forward to talking to you soon about that. All right, we got a couple of other things we're gonna talk about. We have a few left over before we hit the end of the show. We'll be right back after this. I'm Craig Hearn. Today, I'm here with the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He's going to show me some simple exercises and stretches to do before my soccer games. Because to be honest, I'm getting a little older and I need to be better prepared for these games. All right, he's got some stuff he's going to show us. Let's jump in.
What's up, guys? Dr. Zach here with Craig. We're going through a dynamic warm-up here. Super important, especially in this age group as we get older. A lot of guys that I see, they go right from their car and straight to the field without any warm-up. We want to make sure that we're getting the body warm, we're getting loose, we get the heart rate up so that we can help reduce injuries. All right, guys, so I've got Craig currently doing some grass sweeps. He's doing a Frankenstein stretch, and he's also going through some pogos right now. Whoa, Craig, what the hell?
Yep, sorry, Doc. All this newfangled dynamic warm-up, this and that. What was wrong with my old warm-up?
Oh, yeah, the doc was right. Definitely need the new warm-up. Oh, good Lord.
All right, guys. A couple of more things to get to here before we wrap up. Listen, U19s USA played the U19s of Argentina. I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before. 1-0 USA. Brooks, that's a great result for the U19s. Our younger players are doing. You know what? Here's what I think we should do. Take that U19 team that just beat Argentina 1-0. Have them show up on Wednesday to play against the full Brazil national team. I think they would do a better job. I think they would put in a better effort than what our U.S. national team did.
Possibly.
But we've been seeing this. The national team, the youth national teams for the USA have been doing very well against these other nations.
Yes, and
Great
it just
to see.
needs to carry forward into the older competitions. I don't think we've ever had, I mean, last year our 20s, played and they tied France's 20s. Now, maybe it wasn't, it was during the regular season for Europe, so maybe not all the top kids came back and played for France, but it's just important that you get results against big clubs, whether it's within one goal or it's 0-0, but it looks like you had the ball and you went forward and we just weren't playing back or sitting in and countering.
I think kind of a quick note back to the USA versus Colombia game. Was it the first time ever maybe that we had a full lineup that was international team players that played internationally and they're not playing for local club MLS teams? I really butchered that. You know what I'm saying?
I
could have sworn I read that, and
Maybe.
It's been a while since that's happened. We've always had at least one player from MLS or local league. So anyway, all right, guys, do me a huge favor. On our YouTube channel, we got a couple of interviews we've done recently with some TST coaches, as we talked about. We've also got another one, Eddie Hudson III. This young man plays for Inter Detroit FC. He plays for Duquesne University. Local kid for Vardar and Wolves, two big clubs here in the state of Michigan. He has been selected for the U19 Philippine national team, and he flew out yesterday, and he is training in that camp, getting ready for the tournament they're playing in.
Asian Cup.
The Asian Cup, yeah. That kid was very impressive, a really nice young man.
They're in a group. I know Australia. I saw it. It was hard to find. I Googled this thing. It wasn't very easy to find.
They don't make it easy on you, Brooks.
No, they don't. I know Australia was in their group, so it's like 4 groups of 3, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
But we'll see how they do. Australia should be good. They're 19s, I imagine.
I just hope he makes the team. He's going over. This is his first time. So local player called up for the first time to the national Philippine team for the U19s. Good for him. Super young kid. Check out that interview. It's a quick one, about 8 minutes.
Got a lot of pairs of cleats.
Yeah, 40 pairs of cleats.
Yes.
I think he even called them boots, right?
Yes,
40
he called them
pairs
boots.
of boots.
Yes.
Amazing. You know how
I
many?
texted Eddie about that, his dad, and he's like, yep, everyone knows Bud's. They call him Bud. So he's named after his dad. He's called Bud.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, everyone knows Bud is the boot king. And I was like, man, he can wear any shoe with any uniform.
I think he said he'll wear a pair of boots and then he won't wear that same one for 2 months or something like that.
I know.
He switches them out pretty quickly. You know how many pairs of boots I have, Brooks?
1.
No, I got 4.
Oh, 4.
1 are so old and crappy I don't wear them anymore. 1 are the Ronaldo R9s. I still have those, so can fit into them as well. They're still in great condition.
You still have ones when you played at MSU?
No, I got rid of those there. Those are old. I've got
Okay.
the current pair that I play in at the moment, picked up at Soccer World. So if you're in need of boots, Soccer World. And then the other pair that I have are sitting right up there.
Ah, the
You
Swarovski.
see them, they're out of camera, but the Swarovski Adidas collaboration. It's like a $350 pair of boots they've got inlaid with Swarovski crystals. I guess maybe next week if we have enough people asking what the heck that's all about, I'll bring them out again.
Or they can see your video you did.
Oh, they can watch the video. Yeah, I did the YouTube video of me displaying them. We'll bring them out on the show maybe next week as well. All right, guys, we appreciate it. Do us a huge favor. Give us a like, give us a subscription, give us a share. We'd very much appreciate it. Brooks and I had a great time reading out some of the comments. We love when you guys put comments. Please and thank you. Share this video. Thank you again to our partners and advertisers. Thank you, Soccer World. Thank you, Next Level Training. Thank you to the Michigan Jaguars. Thank you, Thomas McGee's. Get down for the Copa America and the Euros to Thomas McGee's in downtown Detroit. Thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. If you guys are local, and even if you're not, check him out. He can help you with physical therapy. If you've had a recent injury in soccer, he will help you get better. He's a former player. He's actually currently playing in Men's Open, so the guy can actually play soccer and he knows the sport. He can help you get better. Trust me. For Brooks and I, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks again. Cheers.